Well, after weeks of deliberating, the moment has finally come. I have actually purchased a watch. Do you think you know which one it is? Post your guess in the comments below and see if you're right. But before I reveal the winner, first a quick recap on the contenders. Looking to buy, sell, or exchange a premium watch? Visit Watchfinder, the pre-owned watch specialist. I know it's annoying me saying, but when you subscribe to the channel, it really makes a difference. 60% of the people viewing aren't subscribed, so if you're one of them, please take the opportunity to click the subscribe button and help make sure the channel continues to be here. Thank you very much. The Omega Speedmaster Moonwatch is and will always be a remarkable timepiece. Not only did it blow minds when it was first revealed in 1957, it also played a decisive part in one of humanity's greatest achievements. Owning one isn't so much buying a watch as stewardship of a legacy. And the improvements that have been made for this most recent version have really upped the ante when it comes to the long-term enjoyment of the watch. It wears a bit smaller, looks a bit better, and the movement is a joy in pretty much every respect. It was a no-brainer to have in the shortlist with so many boxes ticked. I really wanted this one, I really did, but ultimately the price and the need to wind it every few days consigned it to the runner-up pile. I tried to convince myself that the cost was justified and the hand winding would be fine, but given the price point Speedmasters have occupied until very recently, it was a difficult one to overcome. Never say never though, this one may be gone for now, but it is very much not forgotten. Of all the decisions, the Lange Söhne Saxonia Thin was the hardest. I want this one the most, no doubt about it. This is the watch, the endgame, the pinnacle. It's also a lot of money. Very well spent money, no doubt, but this time, unfortunately, not my money. At least, not yet. And maybe it's for the best. What is it they say about peaking too soon? Leave some wiggle room, something to aim for, pine after. At least, after coming to the sad conclusion that I can't really afford it, that's how I'm consoling myself. Funny story about the Rolex Cellini. Not only do I really like it, but my wife does too. So naturally, she was rooting for the Cellini to win, so she could wear it as well. Not sure if that's a good thing or bad. Either way, the itch to have a Rolex again was strong, and the left field choice of the Cellini even stronger. Maybe I'm getting old, but the idea of a gold watch is certainly more appealing than it would have been 10 years ago, and that makes the watch an altogether very tempting package. Not so appealing to actually break open the piggy bank for, however, much to my wife's disappointment. It's a pricey watch and perhaps a bit limited in its wearability. Maybe it would look good on a more casual strap and be more versatile than I thought, but I wasn't about to pay all that money just to find out. Of all the watches here, it was probably the easiest to rule out, but nevertheless it was still a difficult decision. Not least of all because I wasn't the only one who wanted it. When the Grand Seiko SLGH005 White Birch was first announced, I took one look at it and decided it would be my next watch. If I had dreamt up my ideal Grand Seiko, it would have basically been the White Birch. The case, dial, hands and markers, everything about it just clicked for me. And not forgetting the movement, that Caliber 9S A5 is the kind of mechanical gem you don't just see and like, you need it. It's got a real high horology vibe to it and is a deft blow in round 2 against the Swiss. The biggest question of all the watches here will be, then, why didn't I buy the White Birch? It's a good question, and I'm still not entirely sure myself. The money was strong, that certainly didn't help, but it felt like it was worth every bit and more. Perhaps having 2 Grand Seikos, bearing in mind I've only ever had one watch at a time, felt like too much. Or maybe because a part of me would regret not buying the snowflake instead, and if 2 Grand Seikos feels like a lot, then 3 would certainly be overwhelming. I don't know. Whatever happened, I couldn't quite bring myself to buy it now, but I don't think that'll be the case forever. Basically, I can't see me not owning one. Or a snowflake. Or this. I can't decide. By the process of elimination, it can finally be revealed that the watch I chose, my next watch, is the Tudor Black Bay 58. Given that it's a watch I seem to recommend to anyone who comes within 10 feet of me, whether they want that recommendation or not, it really made sense for me to put my money where my mouth is and get one myself. And in the grand scheme of things, that money didn't amount to a whole lot, especially in comparison to the others on offer here. No doubt, it's a serious amount to spend, but being by far the cheapest watch I was considering by many magnitudes, the cash side of it made it a pretty easy choice to make. But it's not just the price. The Tudor Black Bay 58 ticks so many easy win boxes that the question ended up being less, why should I buy it? And more, why shouldn't I buy it? I love the way it looks, the size, the brand, the quality, the movement. I honestly can't think of a single thing wrong with this watch. I know the choice is a bit obvious and perhaps a bit cliché, but I guess the realization there is that I'm a pretty simple person and I likes what I likes. It gives me so much of what I enjoyed of my last gen non-date Submariner with a little kick of added colour, and that makes me happy. And given that's what I set out to achieve, I'd say that's a pretty good result, wouldn't you? Thank you all for joining me on this little experiment in broadcasting my thoughts and feelings in purchasing my next watch. It's been interesting and unusual to take what has previously been a private journey for me and share it all with you as well, and so I hope you've enjoyed it and look forward to seeing more in the future. Although, not too soon, or it'll cost me a fortune. If you have any thoughts on this series, good or bad, please let us know in the comments below. We don't get much time to reply, unfortunately, but we do read and appreciate you all. Thank you.
Discover more exceptional watches at Watchfinder. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. If there are any watches you'd like to see featured, please let us know in the comments below.